Hi there, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. If you were expecting my collab video with Danny from This is Danny O today, I'm really sorry we had to postpone that a little bit. That will most likely be up next week. If you want to be up to date with that, please hit the notification bell so you will be notified of when it goes live. Instead, today I will be discussing 5 bags that I purchased that are better than I had anticipated. I'm doing this because I feel like I have been de-influencing quite a bit recently, talking about brands that I'm not purchasing anymore, talking about all of my purchasing behavior. The collab video with Danny is also going to be about rethinking what bags are going to work for you. So today I just wanted to take an opportunity to share some love for bags that were better than I had expected. So let's dive into it. There's 5 bags I want to discuss today, and I want to run you through why I thought I was perhaps not going to love them and why I ended up loving them. You may wonder, why are you purchasing bags that you think you might not love? I feel like sometimes you are only going to find out once you actually have them in your hands if you're purchasing them online. And sometimes you might only really figure out once you start wearing the bag. So the first one that I want to touch upon is the Le Cabata tote from Christian Louboutin. I've already talked about this bag several times. I think it is just really cool with the stud detailing on the straps, and it has the Louboutin on the base of the bag, and this is made of rubber like it is a shoe sole, like the Louboutin shoes. So when I got this bag, I don't think I really had low expectations of it per se. I was just not really going into this purchase with a lot of expectations. Before buying this tote, I had bought the East West tote from Yves Saint Laurent, and it is a very nice and classic tote, but if you look at it practically, it is also just a couple of slabs of leather sewn together. So it doesn't really entail a lot. And I wasn't really sure what to expect with this bag because it frankly seemed a lot cooler with the detailing on the strap, the base of this bag. I love the color on this, so I just had Fashionette where I bought it, send it over to me. What I really ended up loving about this bag is the quality. I find that the leather on this is absolutely amazing. They have really thought about the details on the bag. The straps are attached very sturdy because it has this base. This tote is not very floppy. It actually really gives a lot of structure. And it's these things like this beautiful pouch that comes with it. Look at the detail, the little Louboutin shoe as a zipper pull. All of that I absolutely loved about this bag. I actually saw this pouch being sold online, I think even with a discount, for like 385 euros. She's almost a perfect bag. There's only 2 things that get in the way of that. I find the strap length on this to be a little on the short side for me, and also because the base on this is so wide and so structured, you might experience that it doesn't really wear very comfortably over the shoulder. So before, I haven't really had a lot of use out of this tote because I was always traveling by train to work. Now that I will be traveling by car a lot more, I think this tote is definitely going to be in more frequent rotation, and I cannot wait to use it more. Then next up is the Aspinal of London Lottie bag in the large size in the color taupe. I recently did a video on this. By the way, everything that I have made videos about will be linked down below in the description box in case you're interested. So I wanted to get the Lottie because it's really one of those classics from Aspinal. A lot of people have sung its praises, but I was a little bit in doubt about whether I should get the bigger size or if I should get the regular size. I kind of wished there was a size in between. I felt like this bag might just be a little bit too big, too heavy. I was scared that it might also be fairly structured, and the bigger a bag is that is very structured, the less comfortable it is to wear. I also had some concerns about the color of this bag because it appeared to be quite light when I saw it on the website. But pretty much all of these things turned out to be invalid concerns. So yes, the large slotty is on the bigger size, but I do find that it is a good size for my frame, and also because it is somewhat bigger, it does really hold a good amount of stuff. What also surprised me positively is the caviar leather on this bag, or the pebbled leather on this bag. It is really weatherproof. I'm not scared to take this out in the rain, which is always a massive plus for my bags because I live in the Netherlands, which is a really rainy country. The color on this is also really good. It is darker than what I could perceive on the website, so it is not a beige. I would really say it is a true taupe. I absolutely love how this has been going with my wardrobe. It is not very heavy also because the chain on this is not very heavy. It is good quality, but it doesn't really weigh it down, and the bag is also quite squishy. So yes, it does have some structure to it, definitely to the base of the bag, but it carries just very, very comfortably. The drop on this is perfect. Having the large slotty in my collection is definitely a win for me, and I can see this bag being around for a pretty long time. Then we're sticking with Aspinal for a little bit longer. I want to talk about the mini Mayfair bag. The Mayfair is definitely the other most well-known and classic model from Aspinal of London. I think this bag comes in 4 different sizes, like a tiny nano bag, the mini, the midi, and then the regular size, I suppose it is. I was really sucked into purchasing this bag because of the color. I think they call this Heritage Blue. I've been eyeing this bag for a while because it was a seasonal color and it was on sale, but I had already actually purchased the midi of this bag in the green fern. So I got the midi because I thought it was going to be a better size for me, and I also thought that the green was going to work a lot better than the blue. I have a pretty neutral wardrobe, but a lot of things that I wear do tend to go a bit more towards the warmer side of things, and I think this bag in this blue is quite a cool tone. Whenever I'm doubting about a color, I will just pull out my Instagram, look at what I'm wearing, and check if the bag that I want to purchase goes with those sort of outfits of the day. And I really was a little bit doubtful when it came to this one. So regardless, I did end up purchasing this when it was on sale because I love the color and I am, after all, a crazy bag lady. But having both the mini and the midi of the Mayfair in my collection, I found that I actually gravitated quite a bit towards this blue one. How come? I think first of all, it turns out that this actually does go quite well with quite a big range of items in my wardrobe. The green color also works pretty well in my collection, but it turns out I'm just not loving the size on that. Not because there's anything wrong in terms of what can fit, but I find that because both of these bags have a chain strap, whenever I'm wearing the midi, and I actually wore it out today, I just find that that hurts my shoulder when I wear that crossbody, and the mini doesn't. Also, the mini does fit all of my stuff. Be aware that will be very personal because this bag doesn't fit a large smartphone, but because I always carry a Samsung Galaxy C Flip, that is a phone that will easily go in this bag. I am not a heavy packer. Very often, if I'm just leaving the house for a bit, I'm perfectly fine with just having phone, card holder, keys, some little bits and bobs like lip balm, and I'm good to go. So this bag definitely had a bigger pull factor than I had expected, but unfortunately the midi size of the Mayfair also had a bit bigger of a push factor than I had expected. And I really still do like that bag, but given that I can't really wear it comfortably for prolonged periods of time, unless I would put a different strap on it, I can reconsider doing that. But I don't know, perhaps at some point in time I do have to let that one go. And now I'm talking negatively about my bags again, so sorry for that. Moving on, the J.W. Anderson Pierce bag. If you've been with me for some time, you know that this was one of the first designer bags that I fell in love with. I ended up purchasing it quite a number of years later when this bag was super hot. It was the it bag for a while, but by the time I bought it, it had already gone out of production. So why did I think I was not going to love this? I think mainly because of the strap. This strap is really short, and it's on the longest setting right now. I can't wear it over the shoulder, but if I'm wearing like a thick sweater or coat. That really becomes quite challenging if you have a somewhat bigger frame. But I saw that the strap was removable. I figured, you know what, I love this bag. From reviews, I had also learned that this is not really the most practical bag to use because it doesn't really have a magnet or anything. It is just, yeah, this open flap that folds over. People said that if it topples over, basically all of your stuff will fall out. I think, long story short, I was probably hyping this up in my head because I had loved it for so long. I felt like it needed to be part of my collection, but I perhaps wasn't really sure what I was going to do with this bag. So, in full transparency, I haven't really loved this strap. Honestly, I don't think I have actually ever used this strap, but the beauty is that it does come off. And I really ended up using this bag perhaps more than I had expected. It is such a classic, even though it's not a classic. Like, it is an interesting design because it's black. It's just very versatile, easy to wear, and I've worn this over the shoulder, I've worn this with a leather strap, I've worn this with a chain strap, I've worn this crossbody. I think it's a very awesome crossbody bag as well. I do have to admit that my stuff has fallen out on 1 or 2 occasions when I laid this bag down because it is indeed just not super secure. But that's just something you need to take into consideration a bit when you're using this bag. But by just taking a different approach to it and exchanging the strap for something that did work for me, I've really had a lot of joy using this bag. This is just a great one and I love it. And then the last one up, the Longchamp Le Pliage, I think in the small size. And this is one of those editions, I forgot the name. It's one of those editions with the chunkier zipper and the thicker nylon. And you might wonder, why did you think you were not going to love a Le Pliage bag? Everybody loves Le Pliage bags, right? And especially, again, if you're living in a country where it rains all the time, Le Pliage bags are your ride or die. I see them all the time in this country. This is, again, one of those bags that I just bought for a very good price. I cannot remember exactly what I paid for this bag, but it was at such a good price where I figured, well, it's not too expensive. It is a Le Pliage bag and I do generally really like those bags. Let's see if I can put it to good use. But what I was thinking was that this bag was not going to fit a laptop. So in that case, good use becomes a little bit more difficult for me because I don't have a lot of purpose for big bags that are just not big enough to fit a laptop. I unboxed this bag and I was like, I think this will actually fit a laptop. And then, indeed, it did. So I ended up getting pretty good use out of this bag because it just ended up being a small work tote for me. Granted, it will not fit a laptop like super comfortably. For that, I would definitely recommend getting the size large of the Le Pliage. But it did work and I've worn this bag on numerous occasions. And even with my new job, for which I have a bigger laptop, so I went from 13.3 inch to 14 inch, it still fits. As I'm traveling by car, I probably won't have as much need anymore for the weatherproof Le Pliage bags for work, but this might still be a great work bag if I want to be less cautious of what I'm bringing in. This was definitely a good purchase. So those were the 5 bags that I wanted to give some love today. Let me know down below in the comments, is this relatable? Do you have any bags that you have been positively surprised by? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel because I'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers this year and I am getting pretty close. Thanks so much for watching and remember, there's a style and a situation and a taste for everything, so don't judge, wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, and as we would say in Dutch, doei!